Hey everybody, Mike Steele here with Barbecue Champs Academy. We got my co-host here, Mr. Lee Hickle, Red Mules Barbecue. How you doing, brother?
Man, Mike, it's another exciting Tuesday here on Barbecue Champs Academy.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a good one. We got the man,
Yes,
Aaron
sir.
Lesley. You know what? I think we all want to live in his shoes sometimes. I mean, he travels everywhere. So,
He is
uh,
moving around, that's for sure.
yeah. And I talked to him the other day, and man, he was telling me all about the stuff in Alaska.
Alaska.
And I was talking to him when he was up there, and he was just taking pictures and sending them to me. And I was like, man, that's a pretty cool place up there. And then he was telling me a little bit after the fact how the competition went, and I just thought it had some really fascinating stories. How the barbecue's a little different up there than it is in Texas, and I
Right.
think our listeners probably like that. And then he's been competing in a little bit of the World Food Championship stuff, so we'll get a chance to talk to him a little bit
Mm-hmm.
about that as well. So. In the
Good.
meantime, we got a few folks on here. Mr. Matt, thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
Jason, thank you for joining us. Mr. John, thank you for being here. Let's see, from the cooler frozen tundra. Yeah, it's definitely cooler. It was 100 degrees here today. I think it's supposed to be 101 tomorrow. The only good thing is we are getting a little bit of winds out of the northeast, so it's not coming up out of the south with the stupid
Okay.
humidity. So it's been pretty nice, and I know you and I are going to have a good time down in Bunkie, Louisiana.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I'm
getting ready for the trash talking with you.
the
We
trash
started
talk.
Monday.
Yeah, we started it, So
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a little trash talk. So it's gonna be fun, and we're actually gonna pull out tomorrow. They've got a beautiful
Okay.
RV park. They got 5 swimming pools. I know a guy that got them all fixed up for her last year, and Carolyn's done an
Yep.
amazing job keeping them up. So I'm just gonna let Suzette go swim and float around the river and stuff. So
Yeah. So for all
anyway.
your listeners out there this weekend, Caroline out there at Bunkie, Louisiana, primo place, golf course, casinos only 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Lazy Rivers, they have a swim up bar, they have slides, indoor heated pool, they have a ice cream parlor, coffee bar, shuffleboard, ping pong. Look out, Mike. Remember ping
Yeah.
pong?
Oh, do not ever play Lee Hickle in ping pong.
Yeah,
That's all I got to tell you.
you'll
He
go
will
home sad.
he will wear you out. He will wear you out left. I thought I could play ping pong pretty good. I
I
got
still
schooled.
stand.
So
Yeah.
yeah, just amazing ping pong players.
Yeah, so if
So
everybody can, come on out. We have
yeah,
27 teams signed up. It's a BCA cook-off in Louisiana.
yeah,
The best, great time, good location. So, man, come on out to
yeah.
Louisiana.
It's
Hey,
gonna
it's a Jack qualifier.
Yeah, it's a jag, so it's gonna
Hmm.
be good. Starting a new season. I think I'm actually gonna try to do a few more competitions
Okay.
and make a little run for the jack. So I had 3 bungs this year, and see if we can step that up a little bit.
It looks
So
like there was only about 13 cook-offs this year in
yeah,
Louisiana that
yeah,
were
they don't have a
Jack
lot in
qualifiers.
Louisiana. So
Yeah,
Jason's White's got the most. He's got
five,
5. Yeah.
five. Yeah.
So
So I'm excited.
uh,
Tomorrow's the big day.
tomorrow's Thursday.
Thursday. Thursday.
Thursday's a big
Yeah.
day. Yep. So
Thursday.
it's gonna be fun. Got a few more folks on here. Mr. James
Ping pong.
Dotson. Glad you're with us tonight, James. Hope you and Eric are doing well. Mr. Mark, thank you for joining us tonight, brother. We got Mr. Toby on here. Got Mr. Darren with us. Got Mr. John
Mhm.
from Alaska. We're going to be talking a
Alaska.
little bit about that, and he may have
Yeah.
had a hand on helping Aaron. It was quite the challenge to get out there.
Yeah, I'll be in
Let
Juneau in September just for a quick visit. So
Yeah,
having a good time out
you
there.
got some stuff coming up as
I
well.
do.
Let's see. Let's see. I would like to compete this weekend, but I'm not upset about missing a 100-degree parking lot. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hopefully the.
that's,
I
but
think
yeah,
from
they
what
have
I
the swimming
seen,
pool.
I did see that it's only supposed to be about 95 on Saturday. We got a little cool front coming in, so it's not going to be quite the 100-degree, and I think it's going to be coming out of the
It
north,
is rough.
so it'll be
It
nice.
is
The
rough.
August heat, yeah, it is not fun. Look at who we got here. Emmeline,
Oh
thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, thank
Emmeline,
you.
all the way
Emmeline,
from
thank you.
Ohio,
Thank you,
Marietta,
Emmeline.
Ohio.
Yeah, thank you, Emmeline, for being here. Mr. Matt,
Always.
appreciate you being here. Ping pong, yeah. Leave Lee Hickle alone in the ping pong. I'm just telling you, it
I'm
will be
telling
a
you,
serious
I
butt
accept all
whooping
challenges.
for anybody. So, Mr. Danny, I know we'll see him. I know, I'm sure he's going to probably have Brian Lip staying in his trailer, so and helping Brian out. Mr. Bob Zaney, thank you for
Mhm.
joining us,
Uh,
Bob. He's getting ready for a big 50th wedding anniversary, I
is that
believe.
right?
Well, I think he had it. I think he's going on a little vacay, so in a couple
Got
weeks.
it.
Jen, thank you
Yep,
for
Jen.
joining us. Lori, thank you
Yeah.
for being here. Lucas, okay, we got to talk a little bit about Lucas. Don't let me forget. We'll see if we get a few more folks. But Lucas is trying to make it to the Jack Daniel. He did get drawn for that. He's needing a trailer or somebody that can bring some equipment to him, or if he has to go back and pick up something, he would prefer either some offset or a pellet cooker. He really doesn't cook on drums. He can, but he's trying to find some help. If anybody knows, and we got Gary Chastain on here. Gary, you may
What's
know
up, Carrie?
somebody. Carrie, if you know
Carrie.
somebody that could help Lucas, he's was thinking about first flying into Dallas to be able to get something, but I said, man, if you could fly into Nashville, that would even be better because it's just a short flight, or short drive to get to Lynchburg. So, Carrie, if
So
you know
Lucas is
anybody up
an
there,
Australian team that qualified for the Jack who needs some USA assistance with
yep,
pits and
yep,
setup at the
yep.
Jack.
That's
Okay.
exactly it. That's what he's looking for. The pit he prefer would be an offset or some pellet cookers. He can cook on drums, but that he's not as comfortable. So, Carrie, if you know anybody up there that can help him, get some equipment there, or if he has to go get it, let us know. Put the word out. Anybody else, let us know. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So, Carrie, excited for the Jack Draw. Yeah, absolutely.
You
Let's see,
bet.
Cook's meeting, turn in awards inside the building this weekend. That's great. We love it.
Yeah.
Lucas, yes, sir.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Lee Hickle, are you cooking?
Danny Dietz.
Danny
No, I'm
Dietz.
not going to be in state this year. So Jen puts on the Danny Dietz KCBS cook-off
Okay.
up
Yep.
there at the Yogi Berra Park. Great
Okay.
location, good time, but I'm not going to
Yep.
be in state this
Yep.
year.
All right. Looks like Lucas Carey is offered. If I don't get the draw, I can probably help him out. So man, that is
Hmm.
awesome. Yeah, that's what barbecue family does, right? So nice comp trailer would be handy.
Harry
Well,
has, if
buddy,
he's not drawn,
Carey,
Harry has a nice one.
Carey's got a beautiful trailer.
Sure
So
does.
got an outlaw offset and pellet.
Yep,
He's
yep,
got both
everything you
of them.
need.
So Lucas. That may be your man right there if he doesn't get drawn. First,
But
I don't want
Harry's
to.
not wanting to help you if you don't have to.
No,
He's
no,
looking for his name drawn.
he's looking for his name. I don't want to wish any bad juju on him. He's got a chance. So, but if he doesn't, Lucas, Gary Chastain would be your guy. Wait for the draw. Let it get official. Make sure he didn't make it, and then you can you can message him on Facebook. I would write his name down now, and if he's willing to help you out, that would really be awesome.
He's
That's
with
what
Hold
barbecue.
Your Horses. So if you see Carrie Chastain, Hold Your
Yep,
Horses, you know
Kerry
you got the
Chastain,
right
hold
guy.
your horses. So that's awesome. That's what barbecue family is, and he lives not too far from that, doesn't he? Isn't he up in
Uh,
that area in
Down by
Georgia or something?
Atlanta. He's in Princeton,
Atlanta, yeah.
Georgia.
So he's not too far. So yeah, that's gonna be good. When will the Jack be? When will the Jack be? When will the
So,
Jack off? When will the
how are you
Jack off
wording
be? I don't know when the jack off's going to be. I'm not doing it, but the draw's going to be on Thursday, and the jack is going to be, I think, in middle October, October 13th, 15th, somewhere in that area. So that's when the
Yeah,
cook-off's going to be, but the draw is going to be this coming Thursday.
Thursday.
So let's see,
Four and a half hours away.
4.5 hour drive. Okay, thank you, Kerry. Well, good luck on your name getting drawn as
Yeah.
well. And
Carrie, how
let's
many
see.
bungs do you have in the
Yeah,
Jack
how many
Deal?
bongs you got,
And
Carrie?
how many states?
So I've got two in Louisiana. I've got one in Texas, and
Okay,
we'll see what happens. So
nice.
let's see
I've
what else
only
we
got
got.
one this year.
Lucas, aha, thank you all. Appreciate it. Carrie. Oh, he's got
Oh,
two.
yeah,
Okay.
nice.
All right. That's good.
Good luck.
Well, we're waiting on Aaron. He was there for just a second. Aaron, get your
He
camera turned
was he
back
was
on.
eating
Yeah,
tacos,
he was eating he was eating some tacos. We're giving Aaron just
Oreos.
there he is. He's Aaron. Give me a thumbs up. You ready? He's ready. All right. Well,
Nice. Kansas
without
City
further ado,
or
okay, you got
Kentucky.
Kentucky and North
Nice.
Carolina.
Good luck.
Okay, good. Good luck. Good luck, Kerry. Well, look, getting everything cleaned up back there. He's got the beard all doctored up.
He's
So,
got people to
whoa,
guile all over his
yeah,
face
one in
and
three
guacamole.
chance. That's really good
Oh
chance.
wow.
That's really good, Kerry. So, all
Wow.
right. Well,
Fingers crossed.
let's real quick thank these guys. The barbecue store, thank you so much, Dustin, for
Yeah,
all the stuff you do.
it is.
Not only all the rubs, but all the stuff that you do to help promote barbecue competitions. It's greatly appreciated. Mr. David with Gunnar Wilhelm Knives. Keep David in your prayers. He's been battling some cancer. I think he's got stage 4
Wow.
cancer, and he's been undergoing some treatments. Miss Daigle down in Daigle's Barbecue Sauces and Glazes and everything. And Raider Red Meats. Kirsten called me the other day thanking me for all the people that we have sent to her. If you're looking for Prairie Fresh ribs, prime ribs, and prime pork butts, she has got them. She said, you have overwhelmed me, and I am so appreciative of it. So she will definitely take care of you. If you are looking for Prairie Fresh products, Raider Red Meats, you can go to bbqchamps.com. We got a link to all of these guys on the bottom of every page on our website. So go check them out. Give them a little support, and I know they would appreciate it. Well, look,
There,
let's,
Paul.
yeah, there we go. Willingham's, yeah.
Yeah, well, Paul's.
All right, let's get this
Paul,
guy on here, Mr. Aaron Lesley, the guy that we all want to be like. How you doing,
there he
brother?
is.
You don't want to be like me, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
That's good.
Because real men don't put limes in their beer. I'm
That's
just
right.
saying.
Yes,
That's right.
bullshit. When you drinking those Sakis, you put limes in your
You're gonna put some in it. Oh God, he's sipping the brown water. Don't look like tonight he's got the brown
No,
water. I don't
no
see the
brown
solo
water, man.
cup.
Hey, Daddy Dutch. It's Dos Equis draft. It's the only way to go.
That's it. That's it. Kirsten is getting me shipped out tomorrow. There you go. She's doing a good
Nice.
job.
Nice.
Well, I tell you what, Aaron, man, you was trying like heck to get to the Dadgum Jack. Now it's just the draw. So he was
It's
doing
just a
everything
draw,
he could. He said, man, I'm coming out. I'm flying out to Alaska. I'm getting equipment. He said, how much you think that's going to cost? I said, man, I figured it has to be at least $2,500. He said, you're pretty close. And he said, by the time I get all the meats and hotels and stuff, $3,000 easily. So
$3,000
just to
easy,
go
man.
try to get that auto. So
Worth
tell
it.
us, tell
Go
us a
ahead.
little bit about it. You know, I mean, yeah, you never had cook there, I don't think, and
No. I actually bailed out 2 years ago because I won the auto for Lovington. Um,
right,
so I had called, and Jack had. I don't remember what town it was in for the Alaska, but I had already booked the Alaskan trip. Me and my son-in-law were going out, and man, I had a U-Haul van. I mean, that's all that was available to rent was a U-Haul van. So I rented a U-Haul van, and we were going to sleep in the U-Haul van. And I mean, I had borrowed the promoter had a 500-gallon offset pit, and had me hooked up. I was shipping charcoal and products up to his place, and so when it come down to 21, I think it was Lovington. I won Lovington, which was the auto, and so I called and canceled my Alaskan trip. And then the week after that, Pam Hess calls me and says, "Hey, you already knew you were already qualified for the Jack out of 20." I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, I've been chasing this damn Jack for 49 competitions, and I win on number 49. She's like, oh yeah, the autos, Matt and Sarah Walker, they had 2 in New Mexico, COVID hit, and you get the auto. I'm like, that's nice to know now. I mean,
49 cook-offs later.
I know it. I've been to Nevada, I've been to Arizona, I've been to Oklahoma, I've been to Colorado. I mean, I was going everywhere trying to chase these things, and then I found out I was already qualified. So,
Oh God.
anyways, moving forward, so I canceled that trip, and then so we had a cook-off here in Midland. It was a state championship. I won it last year, state championship, and so we go to cook it 3 weeks ago, and I got third overall. And the minute that chicken was missed, I had 25 teams. And the minute that chicken was missed, I immediately saw Pam's or her Facebook post about Alaska.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, crap. And immediately I texted John, the promoter, and I texted him, and I just tried to figure out what was going on. And he's like, no, man, it's an auto for the Jack. And I started booking flights. That's it.
Wow.
I didn't even focus on the rest of my cook. I'm trying to find a way to get to Alaska in 3 days. That was my main goal. So, and find pits and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of a last minute decision, but we did it, and we got there, got airfare going up there. I hooked up with Shane LeClaire and Kurt Wallace out of Oklahoma, and we flew out of Dallas. Those guys were cooking together, and I was cooking. So we just kind of first classed it up to Alaskan Air, and and had a good time, and you know, got to see a little sights and cooked the Elks Lodge up there. So it was
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
definitely an experience.
yeah. I mean, it was pretty neat. I think I had called you that morning, and or maybe it was. I guess it was Saturday. Was it Saturday or Friday that I called you? I
I
mean,
think
you
you
was
called me on no, yeah. Matter of fact, it was Friday morning. What? So
Friday
I was at
morning.
6:30, so it was like 9:30 your time,
Yeah,
and I was
that's
at
right.
that. What was it? The Barking Dog
Look,
or the Sleepy
yeah,
Dog
Sleepy
coffee
Dog.
shop? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sent you a photo of it, man. We hung
and
out and just I got to
man,
hang with the baristas. We just talked.
yeah, it was pretty dadgum nice little place up there. He took some pictures, showed me the little bar, and he said, "Man, it's a really cool little place to hang out." What town was you in, Aaron?
That was Eagle River.
Eagle
It's
River.
about
Okay,
25 minutes. And I don't know which direction. I really couldn't
right.
tell you. It's about 25 minutes from Anchorage.
Okay, but okay,
Hmm.
yeah,
Small
Okay.
town, but man, it's such a cool place.
where the spam is locked down.
So how does fire burn up there? Like normal down here, or is it a little different?
You know, you're 190-foot elevation, man. So
Oh,
Okay,
you're
okay.
just
No big deal.
it's cranking. You know, my
yeah,
first time to ever cook on a WSM. So I had a WSM. I got on the RecTech page, two or three of them. I made some posts. I even researched. I even hit the Google, the magnifying button on the top for Alaska, and found people talking about if they were cooking in Alaska. So I reached out to a few people. And then I called, Chef Greg, and I said, "Hey, man, can you put the bat signal out, dude? I've got to find me a pellet grill or something to cook on." And there was a lady that helped me out, man, such a wonderful person. But she was about a half mile from this cook-off, and she had a
right.
BFG. If you haven't ever cooked on a BFG, that's a big dang gum grill. I mean,
Yeah,
it's loaded, right? So I was able to cook on the WSM like a drum, and then
right.
wrap it, put it on the BFG and the RecTech, and use that to finish everything wrapped. So it
Okay,
was it was a blessing to be able to have it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. So, you know, I what do you I'm sure now. I mean, we all kind of cook the same food, where we normally are. But man, you're almost in another continent, right? I mean, you're in Alaska.
You might as well
What?
be.
Yeah. What was your thinking? I mean, was you just trying to say I'm gonna kind of tone my Texas stuff down and just kind of stay more in the middle of
Man,
the
I
road?
rolled
What
with it.
did?
I took it. I took it 100%, just like I normally would, and I didn't. Man, I didn't falter, dude. I ran exactly the same thing as I run on our Barbecue Champs Academy. I ran the same thing I run everywhere in the state. I didn't change nothing. I'm not. Why should I change something when I have no idea what to change?
Yeah, that's true.
And
Okay.
so, I went up there thinking that, what, good barbecue travels,
Yeah.
and I rode with it. It was not the outcome I wanted in chicken, but
Let's talk
ribs.
about chicken. Okay, so I remember seeing a picture. You bought thighs. I think I saw you trimming thighs, and you kind of told me let's hear about what you turned in for chicken, and then
So
what you found
yeah,
out
yeah. So
afterwards.
I tell you, I flew up there with it. I bought a Magellan backpack ice chest cooler that fit the dimensions for carry on luggage, right?
Right.
So I froze a brisket. I froze a point. I had three money mussels frozen. So I know for a fact I've got two good. I can find chicken just about anywhere, maybe ribs. So I turned around and I get up there, a rack of ribs, a rack of pork spare ribs is $26.
Hmm.
Wow.
So I got two.
Wow.
I cooked no more than two. That's it. I cooked two racks. Got forked with those. And then a yellow sleeve of chicken at HEB, $8 to $10 max. One pack of 12 thighs, just thighs. No, it was 10. One pack of 10 thighs was $18.
Wow.
Wow.
And a pack of wings, whole wings, a 12 pack of whole wings was $26.
Good gracious.
There
Dang,
was no leg quarter, so therefore I'm not doing my good old fashioned
Right.
leg there, Lee Higgins.
right.
You remember
Yes,
that good
sir.
old fashioned
Yeah.
leg?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lee
It
Higgins gave me
works.
some advice my first time to ever cook legs, and I 180 that sucker.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So I didn't have any leg quarters, none. And so I'm walking around, and I went to this place called Cars, which is a Safeway but it's an Alaskan Safeway. They own it,
Right.
but it's cars in Alaska. It's Safeway in the state,
Right.
the
Right.
lower 48. And so I go get my chicken and I get thighs and I get my wing. I mean, I'm trimming them up and they're looking really good. So I turn in, but when I pulled my thighs out, they wrinkled on the side. So I was afraid that when they wrinkled up and they took a bite, the whole skin would come off.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a decision to turn in the thigh, wings that I
Wings.
turned in. I made a decision to go eat because they were looking beautiful. They were long, they were lean, they were looking good. So I turned in a box of 18 flats.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
I went and actually bought an extra pack just to be on the safe side because you always want a plan B.
Right.
So my plan B was those wings, and I turned in a box of wing flats, very, very good looking, solid wing flats. I was dead ass last.
What?
There was only 8 teams. There was only
Wow.
8 teams in Alaska. They have an international rule for the jack, so therefore it doesn't matter if there's 5 teams or 8 teams. You just whoever wins goes because they don't have very many teams up there. So it was a good time, but
What did the promoter tell you about wings? Because that's what I thought.
So one cook come over, and one of the Alaskan cooks come over, and he goes, "Damn, that's a damn good wing." He said, "But that is nothing like what we cook here." I was like, "Okay." And so now as a cook, you're like, "Well, okay, now we're leaning to the left as in not good, or the right as in totally phenomenal, and just don't know." And he
Right.
goes, "Man, you are not sweet enough." I was like, crap. I mean, I'm like 3 or 4 sauces out of a bottle. I mean, nothing's
Right.
mixed, right? So I have a bottle. I mean, I don't know how much more sweeter you want. And he goes, I'm just telling you right now that ain't even sweet enough. That's not even close. I'm like, well, okay, there's strike one. So the promoter saw me taking a photo outside the canopy that I was in because it was very dark and hazy, and so it was been raining. The sun doesn't really go down, so you got to think about that. And then I take a photo of it. And he sees me take a photo of it. That the judging's over with for chicken. He takes my chicken box with some others into the Elks Lodge and he gives it to the bar. And he goes, "Aaron," he goes, "Man," he said, "I gave your chicken to the bartender, what was left, and they thought that was phenomenal. It was great." I said, "Good." He goes, "But I am so glad that someone finally did a wing box up here in Alaska. But no one's ever seen a wing box up here." And I was like, strike two.
Two.
Okay, here we go. I'm like, oh man. So we goes to chicken turn in and we get that done. We get ribs and pork and brisket done. And me and Kurt Wallace talking, he's like, "How'd your chicken come out?" I said, "That's phenomenal, man. I never would have batted an eye about it in the lower 48 ever. I never would have even thought twice." And so I get there and awards go on. It gets down to first place. And me and Kurt look at each other and he's like, "Aaron, it's just me and you, man. I mean, we're the only 2 that's left." I'm like, "I hope you're left because I hope I get it." But I said, "Man, we fist bump. It's all good." And then they call him for first place chicken. And I was like, wow. And then I said, "Well, guys, there you go. It shows you not to cook wings in Alaska." And that lady looked across me. She had quesadillas across her shirt. And she was a judge. She says, "Your boxes on my table, and those were amazing." That was it. I was like, okay, well, they weren't amazing enough.
Apparently
I
not.
got
Wow.
8 out of 8.
Wow. Well, Kurt's on here. He said they told me they don't like legs. So
Well, and apparently I don't like any part but just the thigh. I don't
Thigh,
know, man.
that's it.
I have no idea.
here's a good question. James Dotson asked, "Did the promoter help get all your supplies and let you know where to go get meat?"
Man, James Mann did a phenomenal job of going. Actually, he kind of went back and forth by messenger, and he gave me his number, but I never clicked over to do the text message. And so doing the text message, and we were talking back and forth, and I said, "Look, I found a BFG." He goes, "I have a Traeger Pro 34. I've got a WSM brand new. I'll even burn it in for you." I said, "Okay, great, man. Thank you." And so I looked for one more grill or a drum at least to be kind of normal. I've never cooked in WSM, but he brought the WSM and the Traeger, and then he went and picked up that BFG for me and took it back for me and dropped it off in her house.
Wow.
So John just he went above and beyond for all the teams that come from the lower 48 to help them out. I mean, 100%. He is one hell of a promoter.
Wow.
Wow. That's awesome.
He did everything you could possibly think of, and he wore himself out, but he made it
Wow.
work. He made everything work.
Wow.
How about
Wow.
kale? Was there kale, lettuce, parsley?
There is. Yeah. So there's mustard greens. Yeah,
Okay.
which looked like kale, right? So how are you going to know it's not kale, right?
Leafy lettuce, right?
I mean,
So
but I tell you, the stores, and Google is great, but when you type in supermarkets or groceries on Google, it gives you the surrounding area.
right,
I did not know there was a Walmart 7 miles up the road
Oh
to the
wow.
north of us, and so I went to the two stores that everybody told me to go to, and they had great greens, they had organics, they had all that stuff. It just it's a little more pricier than a
right,
bundle of kale costs you $1.69 normally. You're talking $4 or $5. I mean, but
Wow.
you still get the same 5 or 6 bundles just to make sure you're covered, and it's just kale, right? And so, but we
right.
had the organic kale. They had. There's a place up there that I can't remember the name off the top of my head, and if somebody is on here that's listening and can remember, Franco's or Frank's or something, but it's like a Walmart, but it's a different name, and they have everything from clothes to you name it. They've got it in
Right.
there, so it's a
Hmm.
little bit cheaper than the other place, but I mean, a whisk that cost me 99 cents at HEB in Texas was $9
Oh
in Alaska.
gosh, that's
So,
crazy.
just trying to
Mm.
resemble that. You think when you fly, and Lee, you've flown, when you fly to an event, you take what you need, but you leave, I'll just buy what I need there and then
Right.
donate it or do whatever. And I
Right,
did that. I had a great guy, Robert Skittle. He came in from Anchorage. He brought me a table. He brought me a canopy. He watched me cook. He helped me. Brought some chairs, and he was my sidekick the whole day. He brought me some stuff that I could use, and he wanted to learn the competition barbecue. So we jumped on that. Had a great time with him, and now his son lives in Dallas Fort Worth. So when he comes down, Texas, me and
yeah,
Shane, we're gonna hook him
yeah,
up, man. We're gonna let him
Hmm.
come cook with us. And everyone that I met in Alaska, I seriously, on a side note, every place I went to saw my shirt. And they said, "Hey, I'm from Texas. I'm
that's
Wow.
from
crazy.
I'm from Baytown. I'm from Bernie. I'm from North Dallas. I'm from here. I'm from here." I didn't meet very many original Alaskans except the coffee shop.
Right,
So everyone I talked to was from Texas 15, 20, 25 years ago. They just moved there for oil and gas and working and fishing.
yeah,
Fishing's pretty big up there. So, I mean, it was Alaska was a beautiful country, a beautiful place, but it was definitely tough on a competition cook uh, for someone who isn't in that. And I say tough because Kurt did it. He was reserve grade. He did a phenomenal job. Nick, Kurt will have to remind me on this, but I keep saying Nick or Rick. I don't remember which one it is, but he GC'd it. And he was from Kansas or Missouri. So, I mean, the lower 48 did a great job. It just, it just wasn't, it wasn't the profile that us Texas guys that I'm used to running. It just didn't work up there for me for what I needed to be more consistent. So,
okay, that's
Wow.
interesting.
it happens, man.
Yeah,
I'll know,
Sure.
yeah.
I'll know next year when we go back.
There you go.
Okay.
So, okay,
We got a
that
plan.
is
We got a plan.
that's crazy. All right, somebody asked, "Are you going to be?" Lance wants to know. Are you going to be going to Red River next weekend?
The old Red River. So I'm in a snafu on that because you know it's 8.5 hours for me from my house, and Raider Red KCBS is just an hour and a half.
Oh
So
wow,
I went to Red River last year. I won it, but at the same time, the restaurant is so busy right now, and we've increased 3 or 4 times the volume that I don't know if I have the time to take off. I've gone to Alaska. I've gone to El Paso World Food last weekend, and now to take off to go to Red River next weekend. That's an 8-hour drive minimum for me, and I don't
right,
know if I have that kind of timeline. But I haven't made that decision yet. I won't know. I don't ever make the decision on the cook-off until Tuesday or Wednesday.
right.
I mean,
Wow.
that's a pretty safe bet because we all have jobs, we all have to work, and so
Oh yeah,
most guys will ask me on Monday, "Hey, where are you going?" I'm like, "You're way too early. You're 48 hours
Right.
too early." I have no
right,
idea. So
right.
I
Wow.
want to go to Red River. Red River is about 73, 75 in the middle of the day, in the low 60s at night. Got a nice trout stream behind you, and it's great weather. Big music festival. They got one heck of a brewery down there that just makes a great bourbon that I love. So it's going to be hard to know and to not know where I'm going yet because I haven't bought chicken yet. I
Right.
was talking to Paul Whitaker a minute. So Paul was having some tacos with us a minute ago, and he's like, "I don't know where I'm going yet, Aaron, because I haven't bought chicken yet."
Right.
I mean,
Right.
that's
Right.
for a cook. Brisket, ribs, and pork are pretty consistent, but chicken, you can't. You're not gonna cook a half chicken in KCBS, but you're gonna cook a half chicken in Lone Star or IBCA. So,
Right.
Right.
I mean, we haven't decided that yet. So it's still too early to decide.
Where is that
Yeah.
Red River cook-off, Aaron?
Red River is Red River, New Mexico.
New
Okay.
Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, northern New Mexico. So from Midland to there, it's about 8.5 hours.
Okay.
And
Okay.
there's a patch
Wow.
of road there for about an hour or two that will beat your trailer to a pulp.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And so it's definitely something that if you go, no matter which way you go, it's kind of a rough ride. But it's there were some times where there was no pavement, just cleachy.
Right.
So I mean, you got to kind of map it. But once you get past there and you get up into the mountains, it's 8790. So the elevation's just right at below 8,800 feet.
Oh wow.
But it's
Wow.
beautiful, man. It's
Wow.
beautiful.
That's crazy.
Cool. It's just the town is just, man. The town has a huge festival, and the food is great, and the people are awesome. So that's a great experience to go to. And my plan was to go there. I just want to make sure I get a little closer to it before I make that decision.
So New
Wow.
Mexico has 2 or 3 cook-offs for the year, don't they?
Well, up until last year, it was one. Lovington was the only
Mhm.
qualifier, and then Red River finally got their state proclamation.
Okay.
Now there's going to be about 5 this year. So
Okay.
now I'm not so worried about Red River because there's going to be 5 cook-offs. So there's going to be a couple of IBCAs, a couple of CBAs, and then you got the Lone Star. So there's some things in the works that promoters are putting together. So I mean, when you have 5, you can kind of leave one away to try to stay a little
Right.
closer to home.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Did
Wow.
you say you cooked Famous Dave World Championship event last
Yeah.
weekend?
So I came in from Alaska on that was a long trip, but got in. I went to sleep at 4 o'clock on Sunday. Woke up at 8 a.m. on Monday. And I don't ever sleep more than 4 hours, maybe 5 tops. So went to work, and then I dawned on me. I said, "Damn, man, you better look at the schedule because Famous Dave's is in El Paso, and that's a 6-hour drive with a trailer for me." So if you've ever driven I-10, a few guys on here may be watching, but if you ever driven Interstate 10 and you've gone from, let's say, Bernie to, I don't know, let's just say Iran or Fort Stockton, something like that, that's a very long, desolate drive.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You go down Interstate 20 where I-10 and 20 meets, and you leave Midland to go to El Paso, that's 3 times the desolate. There is nothing until you hit the
Yeah.
mountains in Van Horn. You see the mountains, and then the mountains show
Right.
up, and all of a sudden you have a better scenery to look at. But it's very desolate. But yeah, I went to World Food. Famous Dave's had the WFC championship there. There was 8 teams. Uh, I think WFC only has 4 per contest. If I'm saying this right, but one of the contests canceled, so they moved all the other 4 teams to El Paso.
Hmm.
Very clean, very new side of town, the east side. Albert Lujan, those guys were there, and Sip of Texas Barbecue. They were all cooking right next to us. And then we had Reggie Q Barbecue, Daniel and April Rodriguez, and then we had John Bernie Terna sitting there next to us. We had Saffron Hedges, and I mean there was 8 teams total, but there's 5 people I knew there. So um, it was a good time. It was a learning experience because world food is changing. Things are changing with world food. They're trying to get you out of the competition barbecue circuit. They're trying to
Right.
get you to the creativity circuit. So it's not about competition barbecues. We can all do that. We can make a box look pretty. We can make chicken thighs and legs and wings and brisket and burn ends. We can make those look good.
Right.
It's they're trying to make you be creative on outside of the box. And so if you have a brisket and but they want descriptions. They want you to tell them what you're cooking. So if you let me go to ribs. If you have a mango habanero rib, that box needs to speak mango habanero. If you turn in a box of kale with 8 or 10 ribs in it that look just badass beautiful, but they bite into it and they don't taste the mango habanero on that rib, that's going to
Right.
hurt you. It's not going to hurt you on the tenderness and the taste and probably the appearance. It's going to hurt you on the execution. The execution was, where's the mango,
Okay.
or where's the peach, or where is the pineapple? Does that make
Right.
sense? So
Right.
because we all know that cooks use Craig Sherry's, pineapple and peach and mango and all these jellies or Wizard glazes or whoever they're using. We all know
Right.
they're using some kind of a sweetener, right, and a flavored fruit in their stuff. But if you don't see it and smell it and taste it, that's execution.
Right.
Execution is huge with world food. So having that being said, when I turned in my rib, it was a very good rib. I mean, it was as good as it is any time of the weekend, but it didn't speak the peach habanero, or it didn't
Right.
speak the mango, whatever you wrote on that index card. So that's a huge thing. And Harry Sue brought that up at the end of the cook-off. He's like, just remember, whatever your description is. So you pay to play. I mean, here's what sucks about barbecue these days. Things are changing, right? So you pay to play, and you don't know the rules. You see the rules, but if someone hasn't been there and done that and actually scored with it, and you got lucky and they shared a photo or a picture or something like that with you, you would never know to put chopped up mangoes in your box around your ribs to speak mango habanero with a little bit of spice. You wouldn't know that. Or if you had a pineapple upside down rib or a pineapple cherry rib, it doesn't matter what the flavor is. What matters is how well you executed it. So you can have pineapple slices in the bottom of the box as garnish and put your ribs
Right.
on top of it. Next thing you know, you got a pineapple garnish with ribs, and you might be first place. Who knows?
Wow.
Because
Did
you
you have
executed
to-
what you wrote.
Did you have to like present before the judges and talk about your dish?
Only on the wild card. The wild
Okay.
card itself. So the first two boxes was chicken and ribs. This year they made a point to write down pork spare ribs or pork ribs on the wording, because in WFC, I think it was 23, me and Robert Smith scored a perfect score on ribs. The problem, the deal with the judges was Robert cooked a beef rib on the category on the silver platter, right? The silver platter we turned in, right? So in 23, is that 20? See, y'all were there. You were with the Navy guys in 24 or 23, right? Lee?
23.
23.
So it's 22. So in 22, they did the first open judging, and so we had to run the platters up there inside. So in 22, it said all the paperwork said was ribs. Didn't specify beef or didn't specify pork. Robert turned in beef. I turned in pork. Both of us tied with a first place rib with a perfect score of a 100. But he cooked beef, and they had a big judges powwow. And of course, the way it is, they got there and they said, no. We just said ribs. We didn't specify what the meat was. So this year they specified pork ribs.
Okay.
And so we turned it in, but on the silver platter, on the wild card, you had to get in front of the judge, turn it in, and then you had to tell them what your dish was.
Right.
The only bad part about the Famous Dave's restaurant is it's very dark, so they were using their phones, their flashlight, on their phones to see your entry, and that kind of that sucked for the cooks a little bit, because someone that had a darker appearance might have had a darker appearance with a flashlight. They had to use their flashlight to see it. That's the only thing.
Right.
I mean, some LED lights, some lighter lighting, some brighter lighting. I mean, it would have been better, but you had to present it and tell them what you did. Then they asked you questions. You answered your questions. Like, when did you pull your steak? What temp did you pull it at? How long did it rest? When did you decide, it was good? That kind of stuff. So, I mean, they asked you some technical questions, but if you had an answer, it paid off in the long run.
Right.
That's neat. All right, I got a question for you, and then we're going to pick back up, but I don't want this to get too far in the chat. Ron's wanting to know, I see a lot of grand champions cooking with Midland meat briskets. Who do I call to get some competition briskets from you guys, and what grade do you cook from there?
Okay, so Midland Meat Company only cooks their cattle. There is no grade. He kills probably 15 head a week. Maybe 20, depends on what the count is and stuff like that. I don't have an idea for that number, but just think about this. He's a rancher. He only sells his beef. He sells nobody else's beef. So there's no grade. If you want to place an order for a brisket, I'm going to give you 3 simple things to say. You call the main store, look them up on the website. You call them up, and all you say is I want to order a competition brisket. Don't give them a size. Don't give them a weight. Don't give them anything. You just say, I want a competition brisket as big as it gets. That's it.
Okay.
They store and they put back the big briskets, the ones that are quality, the ones they think are ready for San Antonio Rodeo, Houston Rodeo, the American Royal, the Jack Daniels. They put those back together. So Adrian, Daniel, John, those guys do a phenomenal job. But if you ask for a 15 to 20 pound brisket, you're not ordering from Snake River Farms where they have 400 farms and ranches that are feeding,
Right.
1,500 briskets a day. You've got one man with his beef, his bloodline, his heritage, that he's doing probably 60 briskets a week. So all you got to do is call up, real simple, Lori, and just say, hey, I want a competition brisket. The bigger the better. That's it. Don't give them a number. Don't get specified, and let those guys tell you what they have.
And it's Midland Meat Company. Is that who it is?
MidlandMeatCo.com, I believe.
All right.
And you can go on their Facebook page, and you can order. You can hit their website from there as well.
Okay.
So, Aaron, are those already comp trimmed, or they are full packers?
No, they're full packers.
Okay.
Here's my opinion: if you're a competition cook and you want somebody to trim that for you, you're not a competition cook.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anybody out there that's competing that relies on another person to trim their briskets for them, unless they're right there with them learning how to do it. I don't think that person is qualified to be cooking a comp brisket. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. But
You're
a competition cook,
you're kind of mad.
well, I mean, I'm giving you an honest opinion. I think a guy who's asking someone to trim their brisket for them, that he's not truly a full competition cook. You ought to be able to trim your own brisket and put your own brisket in the box and be done with it, because you're going to get the best out of that brisket. If you're relying on somebody, you have no idea who behind the knife. It doesn't matter what company you're with. And you can roast me all you want, but I'm going to tell you the same thing all day long. If you can't trim your own brisket, then you have a problem. You need to learn how to trim your own brisket.
Right.
Because what will happen is this. What happens is this. I can tell you with 100 comments and 100 complaints, when you let another butcher trim your brisket, they just trim the brisket. If they're not a competition cook, then they're not going to get the best out of that brisket. And you may get a brisket and you're like, well, this is kind of thin on one side. It's not very thick on the other side. Where's this right here? So now you're complaining. Well, you shouldn't complain because you didn't trim your own damn brisket.
Yeah.
So if you're mad at the butcher who trimmed it for you, that's not fair to that guy, because that guy took an order. He got in his guy, the only guy on tower. Now, this isn't Midland Meat Company. This is any butcher shop out there. This guy might have only been in the butcher, and he might have been butchering for a year, and he's never trimmed but 20 briskets. And you ask that guy to trim your brisket, and that guy gives you one that you didn't like. Now you're pissed. Right. Now you're upset, and now you're giving a bad complaint or a bad review. So, in my mind, a competition cook should be able to trim his own brisket any time of day, no matter where he's at.
Yeah, never let someone else touch your meat.
And if I'm wrong on that, you can roast me all day long, but I'm gonna stand by what I said. I trim my own meat, and I will trim your meat for you if you ask me to trim your brisket at any competition. And you ask anyone that's been out there, they brought me a brisket. I've showed them how to trim it. I'll trim it for you the way you want it trimmed.
Right.
But you don't always get it the way you want it done, no matter what meat company you bought it from.
Yeah, that's very true, because, there can be thin sides to that brisket, there can be thicker sides to that brisket. Mm-hmm. And, I think we all kind of cut a brisket to a certain width. Well, if somebody's trimming, they may not take the thin side off. I mean, anytime I'm doing my trim, that thin side, if I want a 7 1/4 or 7.5 inch wide brisket, man, I'm gonna barely take off some of that thick side so I can see what I've got, take a little bit more to where I've got that solid meat, and then everything else is going to come off that other side to get the width that I want. You may have somebody that just throws it up there and goes, hey, he wants a brisket. And next thing you know, you got a screwed up dang brisket. It's not
Well,
all, but I think
it's not all, and it's not. It's not. Midland Meat Company is awesome. These guys do great. So if you call Adrian or you call I say Adrian, but if you call the main number and you order a brisket, okay, straight up, you call a brisket and you're done. And you say, will you please competition trim that for me? They're going to do it with a grain from 12 to 6.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. That's what they're a butcher shop. That's what they're going to do. If you want your grain from 11 to 5 or you want it from 1 to 7, you got to specify that, right? But they're going to trim it the way they know how to trim it. And so they're going to do a great job. They're going to give you a brisket. They're going to trim it a little wide. You can always trim the size down. I have guys text me all the time, Aaron, this is how the brisket came. It's wider than usual. I said, yeah, buddy, just go ahead and slice the size down a little bit, make it fit your box. But some butcher one day is going to trim somebody's brisket, and they're going to get a bad review online because they trimmed a competition brisket, and this guy's going to say they slaughtered this brisket.
Yeah.
And so not do you want to let someone do the work for you, but it's also like Andy Lugo. Andy is a great trim brisket. He does a great job trimming briskets, and I can trust Andy to trim a brisket for me.
Right.
Because I know what he does.
Right.
And so at the same time, if you don't know what that butcher does, no matter where the butcher shop is, and you let them do that for you, then all of a sudden you have a product you're not happy with. What happens when you're not happy with your brisket? You don't cook happy. You cook mad barbecue. We don't cook mad barbecue. We cook happy barbecue, right? So if you're not happy with what you had to begin with, then start and learn how to do it your own self.
Do you find yourself cooking just flats or both point and flat?
No, I cook the whole packer. So I actually trim my take the class. Hashtag take the class. You will see on my class on Barbecue Chance Academy how I do it. I leave the point and the flat together. I trim my brisket down so that I can fit the caddy, and that's it. I want the whole thing. I want as much protection as possible because I can cut whatever I want off that brisket at any given time of day.
Right.
Wow. All right, steaks. How many would you order? I've seen them, and they are great.
Oh, those steaks are awesome. The marbling on there is good, but I don't know what you want to feed. Are you? How many steaks would you order? That's kind of a trick question.
Yeah. That's kind of a loaded one. To me, I'd want as many as I can get in a box and keep the freight down.
Are you cooking steaks for a family? Are you cooking steaks for a competition? Are you cooking steaks for a catering? Or, I mean, if you're gonna cook steaks, I'm gonna buy the ribeye roll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna trim my own steaks down.
Right.
Here we go again, right? We're back to knife and meat. So I mean, it's
take the class. I knew it. Take the class. I knew it was coming. There you go,
man.
AJ. Yeah, last time he did it, he sold 3 classes in 24 hours. So, yeah, I'm telling you, I mean, we've got so many people that have taken your class. There was somebody just a second ago. Let me go up here and see that have killed it. Let's see your class. Here we go. It was this is Ron that is on here, by the way. Thanks, by the way. Your classes are awesome. We took 3rd place in driftwood using your techniques lessons in Texas oil dust.
Appreciate it.
I mean, they work, and I'm telling you.
I think one weekend, Mike, was it about 2 months ago? We had two hat tricks the same weekend.
Yeah.
With guys in the class. I mean, here's the thing, guys. I mean, if you want to learn how to trim, you can watch YouTube. You can watch Bill Purvis. You can watch Fred Robles. All these guys are doing classes online, and they're also doing classes on YouTube and high speed, right?
Right.
But the thing is, if you want to learn how to really trim a brisket down to what you want to do, everybody has different trim. As I said, you have a cross grain trim or you have a straight grain trim. It depends on what competition class you're going to. It depends on what IBCA or what alphabet soup you're going to be cooking, how you want to put that grain on that brisket. If you want to learn how to do it, take the class, man. I can show you how to guitar pick that thing down to where it's not going to swell and it's going to make it right. It's going to be straight all the way down the side. But you just, if you want to learn how to trim a brisket and how to cook one, Barbecue Champs has plenty of guys on there that'll have what they're doing.
Yeah.
Lee Hickle is right there with me. I mean, he and I went head to head in 19, And I mean, it's like, he was blowing my phone up every Sunday morning. How'd you do? How'd you do? How'd you do? Who is
You're who is this sapsucker, man? Leave me alone.
Who are you, man?
You are right. There's a lot of stuff that can be done with the brisket. How you trim it, 12 and 6, 1 and 7. I mean, there's things there. All right, so we got some news that we want to get out real quick. Justin West just said they made a big announcement on the Outlaw podcast. winner of the roundup, which I'm qualified for the roundup. I don't know. I think this is the last segment coming. It's a 15-team shootout, if I recall, and it's going to be some pretty big money. But they're going to give away an $800 voucher for the 2025 American Royals.
Right.
So I need to try to get my name in that top position for that. I'm ready. I mean, I'm been rolling pretty dang well this year, and made some tweaks, and Chicken's been killing it. And
I think Justin has a little bit extra news there that he probably hiding under his belt there, but he doesn't want to show it this year.
Yeah, I want the belt too. So get me a belt, Justin.
Aaron, from your house to Dallas is how far? To cook those outfits.
Dallas, like
Fort Worth, doesn't matter. All that
Okay,
Mesquite,
so
Irving.
I'll be in Weatherford in 4 hours. I'll be in Fort Worth in 5, and I'll be other side of Dallas in 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Timothy, don't peak too early. And I'm just now on a roll. Don't go there. Mike, you're in the bounty hunt. No, yeah, I know it. I'm glad I'm there. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to try to win that thing. Bring that Texas money to Louisiana. So
if you want to go to World Food Championships, or you want to cook the Dallas area, like the Dallas Metroplex area, I want to say you're roughly right at 5.5 to 6 hours with traffic. So
wow, that's
Gotcha.
awesome. Well, I
Aaron,
tell you
do
what,
still have your pecan lump? Are you still doing pecan wood out there?
We are doing pecan, but here's the thing, guys. We make our charcoal. We make it by hand, and we cook it. And so West Texas is a very dry climate. If y'all remember, about probably 6 months ago, we had some bad pasture fires, and we burned up 100,000 acres up in North Texas. Okay, let me rephrase that. That's wrong, because up here it's North Texas, but the Panhandle, North Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth.
It wasn't because of you making your pecan lump, was it?
No. It was some stupid stuff, but because of the climate that we're in the summertime, we try not to burn. We try not to make our charcoal in between, say, March and October, and it's only because of how dry it is. We cook our charcoal in Sierra Blanca. It's between Van Horn and El Paso. And if anybody's been down Interstate 10 going towards El Paso, right when the mountainous areas start to hit, it's very dry and brushy. If we cause a fire, we burn down a lot of shit really quick. So we try to hold up. And I ran out of pecan charcoal this winter. I mean, like right before summer started. But we'll start back up after October with the pecan. Right now, all we have is oak and mesquite.
Okay, that's interesting.
We'll fire it back up.
I'm going to do the trivia question real quick, and then we're going to keep right on rolling. So we're getting close, but we got quite a few folks on here. So anyway, it's coming. Here's the trivia question. We've been talking steak, and I was like, let's do a steak trivia.
I can't cook steak, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever. So we'll do a steak trivia question tonight, because we've been talking a lot about steaks. We're talking barbecue, but I always like to mix it up and throw everybody a curveball. So, what cut of steak? Well, let me go back here. Hold on one second.
I cooked the steak at World Food with the Air Force team, and we won. So
yeah,
we have a pretty good hanking for cooking steak.
Yeah, you've done pretty well with that, Lee. That's for sure. So,
Mike's having a hard time.
There we go.
I've never heard crickets from Mike before. I can hear it right now. Holy cow!
I know it, but I want to make dang sure that I phrase the question correctly. So
I've never heard dead air on this barbecue podcast before.
No, that's for sure. So, oh goodness gracious. Where are you cooking at next, Aaron?
Is that the trivia question?
No, that ain't the trivia question. Where are you heading next? That ain't the trivia question.
Lee Hickle knows exactly. We don't spit until we spit. That's it. We don't even tell you where we're going until we show up. What is that? Remember the time in was it Alice?
Yes.
And I believe I pulled up in Alice, Texas, and Lee was there. And who are you talking to? Phil or somebody?
Right.
I can't remember his name. He's like, you ain't gonna believe this. And he's passed like this. He's like this. He's watching me.
Wow.
Aaron Lesley just pulled in, and I
Wow.
was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no kidding. And we did pretty good that day. It was I think Tom Smith won it, and I think I was third or fourth
Right.
overall. But
When,
that
when Aaron Lesley rolls in, his rig is like 53 foot long. It's never little. He ain't
Yeah.
got nothing
never
little in
little,
him,
man. It's never
It's
little.
huge.
But
All right.
there's not very many options this weekend. If anybody has looked at the schedule between 5 alphabet soups, there's not very many options. So you have like Alamosa, Colorado. You have a lot of up north cook-offs for KCBS, right? And I'm pretty sure you have Giddings and you have Poteet.
Okay.
So Alamosa is 8.5 hours for me to get to Alamosa. So let's say 9. 9, let's say 10 with fuel. So that's
Right.
Alamosa is about 10 hours. I did that a couple years ago. I think we placed 6th overall. But if you figure out you got Poteet and Giddings, that's the only 2 you really got. So one is 6 hours away and one is basically 9 hours away. So it's a matter of how much fuel I put in the truck.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So let's get to our question. I wanted to just make sure I had it worded correctly. First person that we see get this right is going to get our 20 championship backyard barbecue class. And you'll get them for 1 month. If you got an account, I can add them. If not, we'll create an account for you. So here's the trivia question. First person that I see get it right is going to win it. So everybody get ready. What cut of steak contains both the strip and the filet mignon? What cut of steak contains both the strip and the filet or filet mignon? First person I see get it right is going to get it.
Can we answer that?
No, you can't answer
Because,
that.
Lee, we're
right.
always looking to better ourselves.
All right, there we go. All right, hold on. Mark Pugh got it. I think it was Mark. Y'all can stop. Porterhouse. There's the first one that got it. All right, Mark, you got it, brother. Porterhouse. It contains
All
both.
right,
It contains the New York strip and the filet. It's a really great little steak. Has both of them. So
He's an outlaw cooker.
Yeah, he is. All right, Mark. I'll reach out to you, Mark. He might be an
outlaw cooker, but he's definitely a day drinker.
He's a day drinker. There you go. That's funny.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
Pineapples, baby.
Pineapples. Well, dang. Dang, I was before him. Wait a minute now. How you figure you was before him?
Well, so Tim S. Is that Tim S. chiming in there?
No.
Yeah, you know it is.
It was Will McGraw. Dang, I was before him. No. First 3 won. The first one we had, somebody answered ribeye. The next one was Jason.
Mark.
And then Mark. Mark was the first.
You got Mark on my
one.
screen for being number
Scott,
one.
It's funny how the internet works is that when you click on it, you put your submission. It doesn't register the other submissions that were in before you, right? So it's like yours goes on there, but yet somebody else already had it because you're the promoter. Yeah. You're the dominant screen.
As like I tell everybody, yours is going to be delayed. Mine's in real time. So and that's all we can go by. So wow.
Mark. That's for sure.
Yeah. So we'll get you hooked up, Mark. That's for sure.
Aaron, you got any new rub sauces, seasonings coming out?
Man,
how many do you have already?
Shit.
I don't know. I got a whole freaking shelf. Where they at? I got a whole shelf back here.
It's Bowen.
So,
as far as rubs go, there's probably just 6. Then we got the Old Dust, the Barnyard Pimp, the Wildcat. The Black Gold, the Piggy Bank, the Wildcatter, and the Zesty. Those are the 6 rubs. Then you have the Jack, which is phosphates, the Triple X, which is the MSG, corn-based MSG, by the way. It's not rice grain, not Chinese grain.
Can you explain how to use that?
What?
The Triple X.
Man, eat it, smear it, smother it, stick it in the middle of it. I don't know. It just really, man, I tell you, MSG is a flavor enhancer, so pick your poison. If you put too much MSG on food, it have a metallic taste. So you don't want to have too much. So you can add a little bit to your injection. You can say, you know what, I'm going to add to my barbecue sauce, because some barbecue sauce don't have MSG in it. A lot of barbecue rubs don't have MSG in it. So you can put it as a layer, or you can throw some in there, as a layer of your seasoning, or you can put some in the bottle of your rub to make it just taste better, a pop of flavor. Or you can throw some in your injection.
Would that be a good replacement for Tender Quick?
I don't know what I've never used Tender Quick.
Yeah.
So I swear. Look, all my grandmother I've never, ever, ever bought, used, or even touched Tenderquick. So
I need it.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I know what Tenderquick is.
Right.
I don't know what it does. I can't tell you that MSG replaces that. As far as I know, it's a salted type deal. So
No,
I think
it's not the
beefier
same.
meats.
They're completely
So
different.
I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've had people tell me I'm a liar, and I'm not. I'll tell you the truth every day of the week. But I've never used Tenderquick, so I don't have that answer for you on that. But
Okay.
MSG is in every Chinese food restaurant. I think we used to use Ojinomoto. I think that's we
Yeah.
used to back when Ernie
Ajinomoto.
was cooking all the time. He was using Ojinomoto. You could get it at HEB. Now they've quit.
Exactly.
But if you look at a bottle of seasoning, you see that rice grain look on the inside of it, and that's that Chinese grain MSG. Mine is not. Mine's a fine powder, very fine, very. It falls in the cracks very good, right? So when you have that kind of consistency to it, it falls in, it mellows in, it does its thing. So
Yeah.
MSG is like Tim said, it's your friend. Pick
Yeah.
your poison though. Do you want to put it in your injection? Do you want to put some on the seasoning, or do you want to put some in the barbecue sauce? But if you put too much, it will give a metallic taste to the judges, and you don't want that to happen, right? Not
Yeah.
too many too. So
Okay.
Yep. That's right. Magic Hunter's
So
cooking
one
for
bottle may last a lifetime.
a long
one
time.
bottle lasts me 2 comps.
Buy more.
I picked my poison. I
Yeah.
load them up.
Yeah.
They probably have a headache. They probably have a headache going away.
Yeah.
from
They're
judging the
booming.
next day. But no, I really.
Oh,
I mean,
goodness.
well, you'll find out real quick. Hey, look, Barbecue Champs Academy, Aaron Lesley, take the class. You will
That's
see how
it.
I use my MSG. I'm telling you, there's a way to use it that doesn't have too much accentuates. At the same time, it gives you all that flavor of pop. And if you know how to use it and you want to experience it and you want to just up your game a little bit, knowing how to use a small tool, just a small tool will level your game out tremendously.
Yep. That's true.
Right.
That's true.
I think I've been using MSG since 17, and I think I've got the record to prove it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lee has used some too, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Mike has used some too, and
Yep.
everybody's used some a little bit here and there. So
Yep.
I use your products in my profile on Barbecue
Oh,
Champs Academy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen
Sure
that,
did.
and I appreciate that. You kicked my ass quite a few times, and I appreciate the ass whooping with those
With your
products.
own
Yeah.
product. Yeah. That's it. Oh, goodness. Well, guys, I tell you what, it's been a great show. We've had a lot of folks on tonight, and man, we've been bumping 50 just about the whole time, and it's always great to have Aaron on. Aaron, thanks for coming in and telling us a little bit about Alaska and how that went, and
Yeah.
all your rubs and your charcoal and the experience at World Food and how all that goes. It's really fascinating.
I
And
appreciate it, man.
it's fun getting out and doing some cooking. We're going to try to expand
I
a little
don't
bit
think
more.
I've cooked one organization twice in a row this year. Very seldom. I've done a lot more outlaws this year than I have
Right.
IBCA or CBA. Now
Yeah.
that Jack is over with, and we're just waiting on August the 8th. Man, that's nerve wracking because I have a 50-50 draw for
Yeah.
Mexico. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, me and Brian, me and Big Earp, we got Big E, we got a shot at it, and
Yeah.
so it's kind of like, okay, who's going to go? At the same time, you're sitting here thinking, okay, where are you going to go next? Because
Right.
now the Jack
Yeah.
draw is over, you want to sit back and take a little break, right? But you
Yep.
can't.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
it.
I don't think, Lee, have you taken a break since the last 4 years?
So I took 4 months off. I cooked for Luke Combs May 11th up in San Antonio for Jack Daniels, and then I cooked 2 weekends ago and reserved it after 4 months. But I leave Thursday for
I've seen that.
Louisiana, get back on Monday, fly out Wednesday for Mexico for a week, cook Monterey,
Yeah.
and then I come back. Then I have the Jack. I am cooking for Jack Daniels at the Jack. I'm there all week long
Okay.
at the Jack. Then I've got
Good.
American Royal, and then I have right from the Royal right to Indiana for
Yeah.
World Food, and
Yeah.
have Alaska the first week in September. I'm
Yeah.
gone for 9 days in Alaska, so it's picking up for me.
Yeah. Well, I've
No,
got.
that's good, man. I mean, breaks and breaks.
Oh yeah, I've got Bunky coming up this weekend. I'll be off a week. I'll have my in-person class that I'll have here at the Barbecue Champs headquarters. I've had so many people reaching out wanting to know when I was going to do a class. So I've got some very unique techniques and a lot of cool things that I'm going to show you that
You
you've
guys
never
get signed
seen
up for
before.
Mike's class. Mike's got some
So-
things. He tells me some things. We talk on the phone. I'm sure Lee
So-
talks to him too. And Mike will say, like, hey, man, have you ever done this? I'm doing this. I'm like, no.
Pickle juice. Who in the hell injects pickle juice in their chicken?
Ain't nobody
know?
putting
I mean,
damn
yeah.
pickle juice. You lying sack of shit. Anyway, but I don't know. I've got that. So we'll have our cooking class on the 23rd and 24th. Still have a few spots left for that. I promise you there's going to be things that you've never heard of in the barbecue industry before. It's very unique and different. And one of the things I use to make me consistent. And then after that, I'm off a week. And then we're going to cook the one that the Outlaw event they've got over there where the Dallas TV show was done at South Fork. That's going to be a big outlaw competition. So we're doing that.
Who shot
So
JR?
who shot JR? So we're going to be kind of busy. And but anybody, if you want any information about my class, you can send me an email at BBQ Champions or just message me on Facebook and BBQ Champions at Gmail. And we're going to be busy. Me and Lee's going to have a little fun. So.
Are you going to have wait, now this weekend you're both going to Bunkie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're both going to Bunkie.
Okay, now I want to know. Me and Mike did it.
He don't want none. He don't want none.
See,
He don't
Aaron,
want none.
last time I cooked it, I won it, just so you know.
Yeah,
I just want it all, man.
Yeah,
Give me I want a rematch, Mike.
I know you do. I know you do. That
You
was.
got lucky. You were
I know.
prepped. You were primed. I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's another.
Yeah,
cook-off.
don't ever take me lightly. Aaron, brother, thank you so much, man, for
See you
being
guys.
on.
Thank you
It's
guys
always
for
good having you. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. Lee, Lord willing, I'll see you on Thursday.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
we've had a great guest of folks tonight. Thank you so much for being here. It has been an absolute blast, and we've got quite a few folks that have been here. Lots and lots of comments. We
You
appreciate
guys,
y'all
y'all
so much.
let me know in the comments who's going to Poteet, who's going to Giddings. I like
Yeah.
to know who's going where, so I can.
Yeah,
I can go not where y'all are going.
Not where y'all are going. Anyway, but we do appreciate it so much. I hope everybody's enjoyed our show. Lord willing, we'll be back next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Y'all have a lot of fun.